A crying baby floats alone on a deadly river while a king hunts him down. This is the story of a child marked for death, yet chosen for destiny. The land of Egypt glowed under the burning sun. Massive pyramids rose into the sky. The Nile River flowed like a silver ribbon through the desert. But beneath Egypt's greatness was suffering. The Israelites, once honored guests in Egypt, had become slaves. They labored under heavy whips, they carried stones, they built cities they would never live in. And Pharaoh, the most powerful ruler in the world, was afraid. The Israelites were multiplying, growing stronger, growing in number. What if they rise against us? Pharaoh warned. Fear turned into cruelty. A terrible command was spoken across the land. Every Hebrew baby boy must be thrown into the Nile. Soldiers marched through neighborhoods. Mothers wept. Fathers trembled. Hope seemed lost. But in one small home, a child was born. His mother looked at him. Tiny fingers, peaceful face, soft breath. She knew one thing. This child was special. For 3 months, she hid him. Each cry made her heart race. Every knock on the door felt like danger. She rocked him gently, whispered prayers over him, covered his mouth when footsteps passed outside. But babies grow, and silence becomes impossible. She knew she could not hide him forever. So she made a desperate plan. Under the quiet sky, she gathered reeds from the Nile. Carefully, she wove a small basket. She sealed it with tar so water could not seep in. The basket was strong, but her heart was breaking. At dawn, with trembling hands, she placed her baby inside. She kissed his forehead. Tears fell onto his blanket. She carried him to the river. The Nile, and the very river meant to be his grave, would now become his only hope. She placed the basket among the tall reeds near the riverbank. "God," she whispered, "protect him." Then she walked away. But not far, his sister, Miriam, stayed hidden nearby, watching. The river flowed gently. Birds circled overhead. The basket drifted softly between the reeds. Then something unexpected happened. Royal music echoed in the distance. Pharaoh's daughter approached the river with her servants. She came to bathe in the cool waters of the Nile. Suddenly she noticed something unusual. A basket in the reeds? A servant reached into the water and brought it to her. The princess opened the lid. Inside, a crying baby. The baby's cry pierced the morning air. For a moment, everything stood still. The princess looked into his eyes. She knew immediately. This was a Hebrew child, one of the condemned. She knew her father's law, but something stronger than law moved her heart. Compassion. "This child must not die," she said softly. At that moment, Miriam stepped forward from hiding. "Would you like me to find a Hebrew woman to nurse the baby for you?" she asked bravely. The princess agreed, and in a beautiful twist of destiny, the baby's own mother was called back, not as a fugitive, but as a paid nurse in the royal household. The river meant for death had delivered life. The child who was supposed to drown would now grow up in a palace. Pharaoh had tried to erase a generation, but God had hidden a deliverer in plain sight. The princess named him Moses, drawn out of the water. And drawn out he was, not just from the river, but for a purpose far greater than anyone could imagine. Years passed. Moses grew strong, educated in Egyptian wisdom, trained in royal courts, surrounded by wealth and power. Yet deep inside he carried 2 identities: Prince of Egypt, son of Hebrew slaves. He had been saved for something more. The cries of his people would one day echo in his heart. The burning desert would one day call his name. The same Nile that once carried him in a basket would one day turn to blood before Pharaoh's eyes. But for now, he was just a boy, living proof that destiny cannot be destroyed by fear. A mother's courage, a sister's bravery, a princess's compassion, and a God who was silently working behind the scenes. In the shadow of death, hope had floated downstream. When the world tries to destroy your future, God can use even the river of danger to carry you into destiny. No decree of man can cancel the purpose of God.